The crucial conversations you get into during the course of your day have an effect on the quality of your personal and professional life. Crucial conversations are the day-to-day conversations that affect your life, as opposed to plain vanilla conversations. Conversations become crucial when opinions vary, for example, when you and a boss differ on whether or not you are ready for a promotion. When the stakes are high, for example, in a strategy meeting when the company is not meeting its annual growth rate. And when emotions run strong, for example, when you are in the midst of an emotional standoff with your spouse. Crucial conversations are what they are because the results have a huge impact on the quality of your life. We often back away from having them because we fear that we will make matters worse. Instead, we adopt all kinds of tactics to dodge touchy issues. We send an email to a colleague instead of walking down the hall to talk cold turkey. Bosses leave voicemails in lieu of meeting with their direct reports. Strong relationships, careers, organizations, and communities all draw from the same source of power: the ability to talk openly about high-stakes, emotional, controversial topics. The bigger the pool of shared meaning is in a crucial conversation, the better the outcomes that result from it. Most of us think we are limited to either or choices, also known as the fool's choice, a choice between telling the truth and losing a friend, in a crucial conversation. But there is a minority who refuse to make the fool's choice. They have goals that differ from those of the average person. When they find themselves in a crucial conversation, they are 100% honest and 100% respectful of the other party. They know how to dialogue. Dialogue is the free flow of meaning between two or more people. This free flow of relevant information is at the heart of every successful conversation. The free flow of information means every party involved is able to openly and honestly express their opinions, share their feelings, and articulate their theories. They willingly and capably share their views, even when their ideas are controversial or unpopular. Those skilled in the conversation know how to get all relevant information from others and out into the open. We all enter into conversations with our opinions, feelings, theories, and expectations about the topic at hand. Their unique combination makes up our personal pool of meaning, which informs us and direct our actions. When two or more people enter into a crucial conversation, they don't share the same pool of meaning. Opinions differ. One believes one thing, the other another. One has a history, the other another kind of history. Together, they create a shared pool of meaning. People who are skilled at dialogue make it safe for everyone to add their meaning to the shared pool. Every idea finds its way into the shared pool. Even those that, at first glance, seemed controversial, wrong, or at odds with their own beliefs. They don't need to agree to every idea. They just want all ideas out in the open. The pool of shared meaning is the group's IQ, and the larger it is, the better the quality of decisions taken from it. That happens because parties to the conversation are exposed to more accurate and relevant information, thus helping them make better, informed choices. Getting your heart right, first, is the key to getting your crucial conversations right. No crucial conversation of yours will succeed without the right heartitude. When you are in a crucial conversation and your heart is not right, your behavior degenerates. But even that is not the problem. The problem is that your motives degenerate and you reach a point where you believe that the other party is the source of everything that is wrong with you. That belief keeps you from taking action that could lead to dialogue and progress. People who dialogue purposefully turn the belief's logic on its head by believing that the best way to make a dialogue work is by starting first with their attitudes. They affirm the "work on me first" a second principle and understand that they are more likely to benefit if they improve their own approach. They realize the only person whose attitude they can work on influencing is themselves anyway. So as much as you may need or want others to change, the only person you can continually inspire, prod, and shape, with any possibility of success, is you. As you start with yourself and work on yourself, you become the most skilled at dialogue. And because you are continually trying to improve your dialogue skills, you become the most talented in the room. To get your heart right, first, clarify what you really want. For example, I want my husband to be more reliable. I'm tired of being let down by him when he makes and fails on commitments that I depend on. Next, clarify what you really don't want. For example, I don't want to have a useless and heated conversation that creates bad feelings and doesn't lead to change. Lastly, combine what you want and what you don't want into an "and" question. It will force you to search for more creative and productive options. For example, How can I have a candid conversation with my husband about being more dependable and avoid creating bad feelings and wasting our time? Learning to recognize the moment a conversation starts turning unhealthy will enable you to respond quickly and get it back on track. A crucial conversation is made up of content, which is the topic under discussion, and the conditions, what participants to the conversation are doing in response to the flow of information. Anyone skilled at dialogue will watch these two conditions and recognize the moment in time when the crucial conversation begins to turn unhealthy and take steps to remedy the conversation. There are 3 indicators you should watch out for. 1. The moment a routine conversation turns crucial. At that moment, you will experience physical signals in your body, for example, a tightening of your stomach, the dryness of your eyes, clenched fists or the tightness of your grip, or in emotional form, fear, hurt or anger, or in behavioral form, a raised voice, a pointed finger, etc. 2. When safety is at risk. At that moment, there is fear in the air, and the free flow of information into the shared pool of meaning dies off. 3. Your style under duress. At that moment, you will be carried away by the idea or cause you are trying to get people to buy into, such that you lose all semblance of social sensitivity, if only for a few moments in time. In all 3 scenarios, the safety of the crucial conversation gets compromised. There are very simple, logical steps you can take to restore safety to a crucial conversation gone wrong and get it back on track. In the earlier tidbit, the point was made that when a crucial conversation goes wrong, its safety is compromised. The question then is, how do you restore safety to a crucial conversation gone wrong? First, you need to step out of the content of the conversation. Next, re-establish mutual purpose, the first condition of safety, by reassuring another participant in the conversation that you care about their goals, interests, and values. They, in turn, ought to care about your goals, interests, and values too. Next, re-establish mutual respect, the second condition of safety, by reassuring another participant in the conversation that they have your highest regard. Apologize, when it's appropriate, for instance, when it is clearly your fault the conversation broke down. Be sincere with your apology too. If the apology is done right, safety gets restored immediately to the relationship. Next, in contrast to fixing the initial misunderstanding, contrasting helps you rebuild mutual purpose or mutual respect in order to make it safe for everyone to go back to the conversation. Contrasting is done with one or more don't-do statement that addresses others' concerns that you don't respect them or that you have a malicious purpose, the don't part, and confirms your respect or clarifies your real purpose, the do part. A good example of a contrasting statement is, "The last thing I wanted to do was communicate that I don't value the work you put in or that I didn't want to share it with the VP." The don't part, "I think your work has been nothing short of spectacular." The do part. With these steps done, you are ready to dive right back into the conversation. By staying in charge of your emotions and proactively acting on them during a crucial conversation, you give the conversation a chance to yield the outcome you desire. Emotions just don't happen. You create them. And once you've created them, you have the choice to act or not to act on them. Your emotions become the problem in a crucial conversation when you treat them as if they are the only valid responses to the situation at hand. You believe they are justified and accurate and make no attempt to change or even question them. To become skilled at dialogue, don't allow your emotions to hold you hostage. Don't try to hide or suppress them. Act on them by thinking through your emotional state and changing it. Create new, positive emotions, and choose better behaviors that result in more positive outcomes from the conversation. The way to do this is to act on the intermediate state between when you perceive someone's or a group of people's actions as detrimental to your interest and when you react emotionally to them. In that intermediate state, tell yourself a positive story because it will provide you with the wherewithal to rationalize what is going on. It will be your interpretation of the facts. It will explain what you see and hear. And you act on what we see and hear. Say, for example, you are trying to clarify a piece of information from a colleague and all you get in return is a retort. You will probably tell yourself a story along the lines of, "Oh, maybe he's trying to get back at me for," and then adrenaline flows, you get angry and react angrily. By telling yourself a different kind of story in that intermediate state, maybe he's just having a bad day, you have the opportunity to take charge of the conversation and manage it for the outcome you want. STATE is the framework you can use to master the persuasive speaking skills necessary to make a success out of a crucial conversation. Speaking persuasively is a very important skill for making a success of crucial conversations. There are 5 skills, represented by the acronym STATE, that you need to master to be able to speak persuasively in a crucial conversation. 1. Share your facts. Focus on the facts alone. I found an invoice billed to my husband's credit card. There's probably a valid reason for that in a crucial conversation. Leave the entirety of the ugly stories. Maybe he's having an affair, and your emotions, God, I'm so furious at him right now, out of the conversation. Focusing on the fact alone benefits all parties to the conversation because facts are not controversial, and are more persuasive than subjective. 2. Tell your story. Your story will help flesh out facts so the implications of the information you are sharing will be clear to all. For example, just telling a colleague you chanced upon the company's software in his briefcase is a fact and says nothing more. But telling your colleague a story, the company doesn't expect its multi-million-dollar proprietary software would leave its premises because of the risk of intellectual theft, says a lot more about the gravity of the situation. 3. Ask for the other's path. Give the other party a chance to share his or her fact and story. Keep expanding the pool of shared meaning. 4. Talk tentatively, because it takes the rough edges off the conversation. Present your story just as it is, a story, and not disguise it as hard facts. Use lingo like, perhaps, you were unaware, and, in my opinion. Lastly, encourage testing. When you invite the other person to share his or her path, do it in a courteous manner. Make it clear his or her ideas are welcome, no matter how controversial they may be. Create a conversational atmosphere in which safety thrives. Welcome opposing views, and play the devil's advocate. Do this until your right motive for having the conversation becomes obvious. You can build rapport with the other participant in a crucial conversation by allowing him or her to state his or her path. For a crucial conversation to succeed, you need to get the other party to add facts and stories to the shared pool of knowledge. Let the other participant in the conversation know it is okay if they open up on the facts they have and if they bring their nasty stories and ugly feelings out in the open. Being sincere, be curious, and be patient. Build rapport. To get the ball rolling, ask questions that will openly invite the other participant to freely express themselves. What's going on? I would like to hear your opinion on this, and, tell me as much as you know, are examples of questions you can ask. Mirror, to confirm feelings. It helps the conversation along by building more safety. Mirroring is particularly useful when the tone of voice or gestures of the other conversational party do not quite match his or her words. For example, he or she might say, "Don't worry, I'm fine," while the tone of voice clearly indicates he or she is upset. You can mirror in this situation by saying, "Really? From the way you are saying that, it doesn't sound like you are." You mirror the right way, you empathize and create safety. You say in effect, "It's okay for you, the other party, to feel the way you feel. You can talk through your feelings with me and not be judged." That's a lot of safety being built, and the conversation would be the best for it. Paraphrase, once in a while, to acknowledge the story. It shows you are tagging along and builds additional safety the conversation can thrive on. Use lingo like, "Pause a second, let me see if I got this right." You are saying. Lastly, prime the other's story, when it seems you are getting nowhere. This tactic is useful when you sense the other party is inclined towards opening up but doesn't think it's safe yet to do so. The "who does what by when how will you follow up" framework helps turn crucial conversations into actions and results. Moving from decision-making to action presents its own set of challenges. Making decisions don't amount too much if they are not acted on, and they are meaningless if there is no framework for acting on them. Beginning and ending a crucial conversation requires subtle skills. It is at these points in time that the risk of the conversation totally breaking down is at its highest. In the beginning, there is a need to create safety or else things will go south. In the end, the need to arrive at conclusions and decisions also puts the conversation at risk, mainly due to the risk of violated expectations later on. The way to tackle these potential problems with decision-making is to first decide how decisions that result from a crucial conversation would be taken. Is there going to be a consensus? Or would someone in authority just decide? How would the final decision be taken? By command? By consultation? By a vote? Or by consensus? Other questions around the subject of decision-making that require answers include: who cares about the outcome of the crucial conversation? Who knows enough to make the best decisions? Whose cooperation do you need as you try to implement the decisions arriving out of the crucial conversation? And finally, how many people ought to be in the loop as decisions are agreed on? Next, assignments are created out of every decision reached during the course of a crucial conversation using the who does what by when how will you follow up a framework. Who's responsible for each assignment? What are the deliverables? When are the deliverables due? What rules are in place for reporting progress? Lastly, all decisions resulting from a crucial conversation and assignments accompanying them must be documented. I can win any argument on any topic against any opponent. People know this and steer clear of me at parties. Often, as a sign of their great respect, the why don't even invite me. Dave Barry. Conclusion. There are a few skills required to master crucial conversations. The first is self-mastery of one's emotional state, because one's emotions are what one truly has control over. And then, recognition of moments when safety gets lost in the conversation comes next. And there are other skills too. What's important, though, is that with a lot of deliberate practice, anyone can master these skills and master crucial conversations. Try this. How do you recognize the moment a casual conversation turns crucial in your work environment, with friends, and at home? Can you give specific instances? What is your go-to modus operandi for dealing with crucial conversations? Can you explain the strategy to a friend in your own words and have him or her approve the strategy as valid? Why are such skills as honesty, candor, and empathy important conversational skills in a crucial conversation? Why will crucial conversations fail if these skills are not employed?